What is going on, my friends? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode, I believe 30 of building the world's first all-wheel drive Civic Type R. We are making good progress, as you can see. Quick little update for those of you guys just tuning in. All of the drivetrain work is done, meaning all the axles, suspension, differential, key case, drive shaft, all that good stuff is finished up. Now what we have left is fueling, we have wiring, we have exhaust, intercooler with piping, tuning, and I think that's about it. We are gonna finish wiring hopefully today. So where we left off yesterday was we got our location where the Haltech is gonna sit. We have power to the ECU, we have power to the Haltech dash. We started building the harness for the drive-by-wire. We need to complete it, meaning we got to run wires from the ECU to the throttle body and to the throttle pedal. So let's get that knocked out first things first. Here's my little diagram I built yesterday. Hit me up for any drawings you guys may need. I'm very good at it, as you can see. I'm gonna build the sub harness from the throttle body back to the ECU first. So how I'm gonna get the proper length of wire is I'm gonna start out with some string, just so we do not start wasting wire. Cut this to the proper length, and then we're gonna need 6 wires that run from the throttle body back to the ECU. Okay, so that should be long enough, plenty long enough there. And now I'm gonna follow the actual harness itself. So it comes up. Under here, comes here. Okay, we need to build a harness that long. Harness from the throttle body to the ECU is done. Now we need to do the same thing for the throttle pedal to the ECU. So we have all of the wiring for the drive-by-wire complete. We do need to loom it, but let's see if it works. Unless we need to do some sort of calibration, I should be able to power on the car to the on position and hit the throttle, and it should open our throttle body. And it does not. You know what? I guess it'd probably be a step in the right direction by plugging in a harness. Okay, now what? Nothing. I keep jumping the gun. Of course, we need to, I'm assuming, load up the map onto the ECU, because that is what gives it all the proper signals and pinouts and all that good stuff. So I've never messed with Haltech before. Let's see if we can figure out how to load up this base map. Okay, well, I think that it's uploaded. Still no response from the TPS, so I'm wondering if something's wired incorrectly. Found the calibration table in Haltech here, so I hope, well, step 1 was done. It just opened and closed the throttle body a bunch of times. I already calibrated the throttle pedal. So we did something right, because that's working. It's calibrating the body. Let's see if we have throttle pedal action. Just checked over the entire wiring harness, and there was one wire, which was a ground, that was not hooked to the right spot. So now we're calibrating the throttle body again. Step 1's done, step 2's done, step 3 is verifying, and step 3 is going. Step 3 is still going. Step 3 is done. So now calibration on the pedal is good. Calibration on the throttle body is good.
Holy moly.
Is it like kind of open and then open all the way?
Yeah.
I'm a genius. Wow. The next thing that we need to move on to wiring wise is going to be the fuel pumps. We are running the Radium FCST, the fuel cell surge tank setup. So we have a 450 lift pump feeding two 450s inside of this internal surge tank here, which is going to go in this fuel cell. Now this fuel cell is going to contain the fuel level sender. So the first thing that we need to do before we wire anything up is to get the tanks up in the car with everything installed. Now before we put the tanks in the car, I want to pressure test them. In order to pressure test them, we need to get this installed, that installed. And in order to install those, we need to drill holes and install riv nuts. We have the hanger in, that is capped off, that's plugged, everything's plugged. If you look right here, we have a source of air. So now what I'm gonna do is put maybe 10 PSI in the tank. I'm gonna go around the whole entire tank, make sure we have no leaks. And if we don't, cool. If we do, which we may, because it's my first TIG weld ever on aluminum, then I'll have to fix it. We got a problem. Being that all of the riv nut heads are sticking up, it is not allowing this gasket to seal. We have two options. I'm gonna try the first one because it's a immediate fix. I'm gonna try drilling all of the holes out to just a slightly bigger diameter than the riv nut. The gasket still is thicker than the riv nut flange. We should be able to get it lined up properly, go ahead and mount the hanger, get it torqued down, and hopefully it fixes that issue. I tried a bunch of different methods to drill this gasket out. I got 2 holes done in about 30 minutes and they don't even line up. So that is not really an option. The option that is a sure fix for this scenario is one of these guys right here, a fuel cell mounting ring or mounting flange. So what you're supposed to do, and now I know, I didn't know before, is if we could backtrack, I would have this plate, this top plate cut out. We would weld that ring to the inside, and then we would completely finish up the fuel cell. So what I'm hoping I can do is buy that, slip it down under here, clamp it up, tack it up on where it needs to be sitting, and of course we're gonna have to drill all of these riv nuts. Hello friends, it is a week later. I had a minor setback. As you guys can probably tell, I got the thing called the vid, but the cool thing about that is we came back to the shop with a bunch of parts. Something from Radium. I think this is some material to build our exhaust and our downpipe and stuff like that. More material. Just hopefully a bunch of parts to finish up what we started or where we left off like a week ago, which I think we were working on wiring and fuel system and stuff like that. So hopefully now the rest of the day, or the rest of this video, we can hopefully finish up the fuel cell stuff and the wiring for the fuel pumps. The parts from Radium showed up. So we have this is the, supposed to be the welding plate for the hanger. So this guy will bolt to this guy. I need to go ahead and pop out all of these riv nuts, and then that guy needs to be welded into the fuel cell, and then we can retest and make sure we do not have any leaks.
that tank is all sealed up, got all the pinholes filled. Realistically, there's probably 10 more that I had to fill that I did not see earlier with just water in the tanks. So here's the second tank. Instead of trying to do riv nuts for this plate here, I'm just tapping the tank. I'm gonna do the same thing for the fuel level, and then we can go ahead and pressure test this tank. We got both cells fully sealed up and pressure tested. I did decide, because of course this is my first TIG job ever and first aluminum weld job ever, my welds aren't the best. So what I decided I'm gonna do is go ahead and sandblast and powder coat them wrinkle black. It's gonna look a little bit more OEM. I think bare is nice looking if you can get your welds proper, but wrinkle black is gonna hide a lot of the imperfections in our welding. Fuel cells are all finished up in splatter black from Prismatic Powders. Turned out absolutely amazing. Went ahead and masked off the gasket surfaces, and then here are the brackets that we built, or the little straps that we built for the tanks as well. Same color on these. And there she is with the beloved Radium FCST. Both cells are complete. The splatter black from Prismatic Powders turned out absolutely amazing. I'll go ahead and link it down below. Radium FCST is installed. Radium thingamabobber fuel level sender is installed. Got the little plate installed. That was strictly just so we can clean out the inside and so we can install the fuel cell foam. So these things are 100% ready to go in the car for the very last time. Now, before they do, I am very curious. Rectangle cups. I want to see the volume of these things. Not including this little hump up here. This tank is 6.21 gallons, 6.21 US gallons, and this one is 6.91, not including this upper section up here. So plus 6.91. We have a total capacity, if this calculator is correct, of 13.12 gallons. Which a stock FK8 capacity is 12.15. And what did I say we're at? Dude, we have more than OE. Stock's 12.15. 12.15. We have 13. We have an extra gallon over stock. I wasn't trying to do that, but that's pretty cool. Now that we're finally done with messing around with the fuel cells, we can move on to the fuel wiring. So there's 3 pumps total, 1 lift pump, 2 in the surge tank. So we have 3 pumps to wire. A lot of wiring, let's get to it. So all the relays and fuses are completed in the trunk. Harness is ran through the factory location right there. We do need to grommet it. We have all of the little ring eyelets on the wiring. So these 6 wires here go to the 3 fuel pumps. So we have all of the lines. We have a -8 and a -6. We have the wiring connected, as you guys can see. This here is the vent hose that's gonna run up to the factory. Vent hose right there, which runs up to the filler neck. So let's get the tank in, and then the last thing that we have to figure out with the tanks is the filler neck, and I suppose we still have the crossover, so got to build the hose that goes from here to there. All right, so provided I know what I'm doing with wiring, which I probably don't, I should be able to turn on the key, and 2 of our 3 fuel pumps should turn on. So let's give it a shot. Of course, there's no fuel in the tank, so I don't want to burn them up. But there we have it. We have fuel pump, and we have a mess of wiring that I need to go clean up. Last thing on the agenda is to go ahead and wire up the fuel level sender. So it's just a 2-wire. One is ground, one is going to plug right into which port? AVI4, which is pin 21 on the IC7 Haltech display. So we have some wiring here. Let's go ahead and build a little harness. I'm just stealing the ground from the factory fuel pump wiring harness, and then this green wire needs to run all the way up to the dash. Alrighty, we got the wire ran up, and what did I say, pin 21. Plugged into the car. My battery is far too low to do anything calibration wise right now with the Haltech, so I got her on the charger, and we can go ahead and calibrate this some other day. But fuel system's done. Of course, we need to connect the dash 8 and dash 6 up here. We need to do the injectors and stuff, but all the hard stuff, the wiring, the fuel cells, the wiring for the drive-by-wire, there's so much stuff we got done in today's video, which brings us that much closer to the first start ever of the all-wheel drive Type R. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna go home and go to bed because I'm tired. Don't get sick. Peace out. Goodbye.